Rams. Still nothing.
But we tested this thing and I could hear you. What could have happened? And you can hear me.
Yes.
But the problem is your sound is not coming to me. I mean, I haven't touched my laptop since we tested.
Oh my word. Okay, let me ask if they can hear me on the... Oh, let me test also on my device. Wow, technology. Technology. And then can you please speak again, Rams? Technology. And then can you please speak again, Rams?
I'm trying my phone now. I'm going to see if it's going to work on my phone.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, but yeah, I'm now using my phone.
PC, did you restart it? Have you started it recently?
No, I tested this thing with you. I went to get a drink. I came back and said, here. I did nothing. I didn't touch my laptop.
Okay, let me remove. And then can you twist and make? But it doesn't.
Run it landscape.
Yes, landscape. If you can. In the meantime, can we please restart EPC? Oh, it turns. Yo, it's difficult, Gaga. I don't even know what to say. And this is a new link. Hi, Botumel. Okay, they can you guys hear us clearly on I have so Rams, I have audience on the chats. I don't know if you can click and see them on the side of your screen. So, but sometimes I usually do read some questions during okay, but they can hear us, but they'll also be engaging with you. So earlier on, I was just introducing you as a prominent media personality, to a public relations expert who actively promotes physical fitness as an integral part of his lifestyle. He frequently shares his workout routines and motivational content on social media platforms, engaging his audience to prioritize health and wellness. And then, for instance, he posted a TikTok video emphasizing the importance of starting the week with exercise, stating, "In the middle of difficulty lies an opportunity." And additionally, he shared another video highlighting a routine of stretching muscles after a demanding week. So I've seen, because I also have your number, I usually also see you sharing your lives. I mean, your workout routines, lifting, mostly it's lifting. But prior to that, you were also running, like a lot of running. You would share your kilometers after runs and the sunset and all of that. So over those months and leading up until this year, and me starting this platform of inviting people to talk with about health and wellness and fitness. So you are one of those guys who sparked an interest on really asking more on those and on fitness, the journey on your fitness. And as an old person, or an adult, not old, but an adult, get more information on you. So, but with that being said, please introduce yourself and welcome to the live.
You have introduced me. All I can say is that I'm Rams Mabote. You've done the introduction. What more could I say?
So no complaints, no addition, no
No,
nothing.
it's okay. No, that's
Okay.
yeah. It's part of the things that I am. I've got a million things that I do.
Yeah, okay. And then also, while we're talking about that, today you are an interviewee or a person I'm hosting. I hope you won't scrutinize me or what. I've seen the pattern of how you interview people and your humor, of which is great. I don't know if the audience have seen that, but yes, with the recent one on your first live. So on your first episode that you shared, it was a great one, and how you would poke, but in a humorful way. So yes, but anyways, I have prepared questions for you. Like, what does fitness mean to you?
Oh, wow.
Hlalo tabeng.
Look, uh, we are only given one life, right? And you've got one body. That's all you have. You cannot have another body. And for me, fitness is me being grateful for the body that I have and trying to preserve it for as long as I can preserve it. The last thing I want is to reach to be old or to grow old on a terrible body. So should I ever be given a lot of years to live, I want my body to match the number of years I'm going to live. It's very sad to be 80 and looking 110. I don't want to be like that. Right? So that's one part. Secondly, is that we we have to take care of ourselves. You know, the this thing of thinking that I'll do it tomorrow, it actually doesn't work. By the time tomorrow comes, you have reached a point of no return. So for me, fitness is me rewarding myself for being alive.
Okay. Yes, that's also awakening. Someone on the comments is saying, one life, one body. It preservation. English.
Yeah.
And then the next one would be, how did you start your fitness journey? Is this something you had done earlier in your life, from the teen years or early in the 20s? Or is it something you started focusing more on right now at this stage of your life?
I played football as a young person. I played and exercised till about the age of 21. And then I was having too much fun. I was working, making money. I dropped football. I dropped everything. I started having too much fun. So for pretty much a period of a decade, since around 21, there was nothing. But at some point in my early 30s, I decided, no, this is not right. So it's been now unbroken about 25 years of exercise since the last 10 years that I have not exercised. So for the last 25 years, I have been doing something to keep myself healthy and fit. I have stopped playing football because I think I don't want to be kicked by someone by mistake and lose a limb or something. So I'm too jealous about my body. So I still follow the sport, but I don't play it at all. I play golf. I play lots of golf, and I insist on walking on the golf course. I don't get on golf carts. I don't do other things. I walk, and a lot of times I carry my own golf bag. Uh, you spoke about running earlier. Yes, I used to run a lot. I stopped because a doctor friend of mine told me that it's not good for my knees. He said I won't know it now, but I'll know it in my 60s, and by then it will be too late. There are many other things I could do. So I walk, but I don't post the walking. I walk a lot. What I post is the physical training that I do, which you see all the time in my posts.
So would you please share just a little more information on your findings or your friend about hurting your knees at the, because that's what I mostly do. I love running more than the physical strength training, And I find it that running is much more easier. You just go, put on your shoes, go out there and run. So maybe would you elaborate more? What were your findings? And since you've switched and be more on the physical strength training, what are the differences? Do you feel any difference? Do you feel you miss running? Any of those?
Well, I can't share any findings because I did not do any research. I was just told something by a doctor who I trust. He said, stop running. So I just listened to him. So there was no research on my part. I just trusted the source. He's a medic. He knows better than me, right?
So
The
you
same way.
never him.
No. You see, the same way when I advise my clients in my business, I want them to listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. So I also
Okay.
listen to the doctor when the doctor speaks, right?
Okay.
And there's a lot of also information out there about how walking can give you the same result you get from running. In fact, the only thing that you get from running that you don't get from walking is probably sweat. But the result is the same, really. It's the same. So you can walk and stay fit from walking. But there is
Serious?
also enough. You can actually Google this now. You can see a lot of information about how running is not good for knees. A lot of professional athletes who are now retired are living with terrible knees. One of them is Bruce Ford, is multiple winner of the Comrades Marathon, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, he's almost crippled. He's buggered up his knees. So I don't want to be like that. I want my knees. I want to play golf when I'm 90 years of age, and I know I can play it. So that is that I took advice from someone, and this advice is working for me. As I said, I do walk. I still enjoy the breeze out there, taking a walk, and I do brisk walking. It's not like slow walking. I walk very fast, because that's good for the heart. The heart it's a muscle that needs to be trained all the time. But yes, I spend a lot of time inside the gym, and I do all sorts of training, strength and stretching, and all sorts of things.
So at the gym, do you ever try? So you only walk, no more running on a treadmill or even short distances. So you've been avoiding running. When last did you run then? Like your 5K or 10, if you can still recall?
What year are we now? 2025. The last one would have been 2022.
So you've never looked back? Eh?
No, and I'm still fine. I'm very healthy, and I know I'm still looking okay.
Yes, you are. You are getting a comment from Karavo, one of the viewers. What are daily habits that keep you grounded? Be committed to your physical well-being and nutrition, if you may add there.
Okay. Let me give you my typical day.
Mhm.
The first thing I do when I wake up is to drink a liter of water.
At one go.
Religiously, 1 full liter of water every single day. That's the first thing I do when I open my eyes, is to drink a liter of water. Right? Apparently, again, experts say your body parts go into a huge celebration when that happens. They're like, "Yay, thank you very much." Like, they thank you for keeping them alive. I don't have breakfast. I don't take breakfast.
Mhm.
My first meal is it's never earlier than midday, but normally around 2 p.m. So that's intermittent fasting. And all it is really is to allow the body to take care of its toxins on its own without me doing anything. So in that period, the body works on itself to clean up itself when you fast. All I do is to take water throughout. Uh, I then would go to gym, and I break my fast when I finish gym. At that time, the body needs food. It needs protein. I've just exercised. I've just picked up a lot of weights and done all sorts of things. So I break my fast at that time. Right? So anything between 2 o'clock, maybe 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Life continues. I work. I do all sorts of other things. I try to have my dinner no later than 6:30 p.m. I have been late from time to time, and sometimes because of the work that I do, I go to dinners where they serve you food at 9, and I really detest it. But it doesn't happen every day. So once in a while, I'll break the rule. But I try not to eat after 6:30. So that's my lifestyle kind of thing, right? And I try to keep that as a routine every day of my life, except for Sundays.
Sundays is your
Sundays, no, Sundays are my days. I play golf. I have whiskey. I have wine. I do things. But I'll still not eat later than 8 p.m. on a Sunday,
okay.
except tonight. When I finish with you, I'm going to a watch party of uh, the South Africa under 20. I've been invited to some event.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. All the best. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
I have a question from Lindy Wenkabinde. When last did you wake up to Amakwinya Rams?
Whoa. Whoa. But maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. So you don't.
Listen.
What
I
is
do
what
I
is
do eat amakunya. I do eat amakunya. I eat all sorts of things. There's nothing I don't eat except beetroot and green beans. I eat everything. And I'm not a health freak. I'm not the kind of guy who cuts the fat out of the meat. I eat everything. But I
oh,
compensate by exercise and a bit of fasting. So so you see, you can't have it both ways. You can't eat wrongly and also not exercise. So at least I have a balance. I
yes, yes.
men, Clement, you don't want to see me around wine. I drink lots of wine. So I'm not a perfectionist. I love my wine and I'll never quit. Even if a doctor told me so, I'll change doctors. But all I'm saying is that I try to balance that by also doing the right things for myself, for my body.
Okay, I have a similar question that I had prepared. So I was going to ask, has physical fitness ever helped you to get unstuck in life or in a period, in a month, if some hardships are around or you're going through some things and then you turn to physical fitness? And then the question on the audience is, do you feel physical fitness impacts mental fitness? So
May
yeah.
I answer the last one first?
Okay, okay.
Without a doubt, when your body is sharp, the mind gets sharper too. So we tend to be heavier on our minds when we are sluggish. And the mind also moves slowly because you're in a sluggish space. When you are in a good space physically, your mind gets to be energized even further. I tend to do lots more because of an energized mind. I write a lot. And I find that my writing has become better because of my my physical fitness. Have I seen any results from my physical workout? Of course, I have. I have. I mean, I see some things on my quads. I see some things on my biceps and triceps. My chest is a bit more defined. I found myself donating a lot of clothes at the end of last year because they couldn't fit on my chest anymore, which was actually, I felt so good about giving up those clothes. Uh,
Okay.
yes, and it, it 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 has also improved other aspects of my life. Uh,
Mm.
it has been very good for me, I must tell you.
Yeah, we can tell. We can tell with your physical, with the physique. And also, just to ask on that, with giving up on your clothes, have you ever in your in your journey or ever since you gained weight or feel like no now I'm overboard. I need to do something. I need to like push and focus on fitness. Have you ever experienced any unhappiness on how you look or how you feel?
Yeah, as I said, 20 years ago, I looked horrible and I was very unhappy. I I
Horrible
think,
meaning what? Were you big? Were you just
yeah, the tummy
really?
was protruding a bit. The waist was about 3 or 4 sizes more than what it is now. It was just, yeah, I've looked horrible before, but that's a long time ago. So if you have not seen me before 20 years from now, you would not know, right? But yeah, there was a period of my life when I was not proud of how I looked. And the day I took that decision to take care of this body, well, I got rid of the extra weight. I got rid of the extra waistline, and yeah, and I've been able to hide my real age, because every time I tell people my real age, they don't believe it.
What is your real age?
55.
55.
55. All of it. I'm not turning 55. I've already turned 55. So I'm going on 56 next year. 56. I'll be 56 in May next year.
Active, you're playing golf, and you are even mentoring. If we move on to the mentorship side, you mentor young boys with self-development and, yes, on the physical activity side of it. Can you please tell us more about it on Kings, the Kings? Future Kings, yes.
Yes. How do you forget? You designed the logo. But anyway.
Mention it.
So, years ago, I got troubled by a story I read in the newspapers about a young man who had raped his own girlfriend, and he got arrested. And when he got released, he was interviewed about it, and he then lamented the fact that young men, especially where we come from in the townships, don't have role models, or at least they have role models, but they have no contact with the role models. The people they have contact with are the wrong people. And that bothered me a lot. And at that point, I then decided I gotta do something about this. It took me a while to finally do something about it, because I couldn't really think, what exactly could I do about it? And then I realized the best thing to do is to gather my own peers and decide that we form some form of a movement where we can mentor young men to become better future men when they grow up, right? So that they don't end up in the path of this young man who opened my eyes to how terrible things can be. And it has been a good journey doing this work of mentoring young men, seeing them becoming better human beings, seeing them having different conversations, seeing them taking responsibility for their lives. But for me, most importantly, seeing them respecting women as fellow human beings.
That is interesting and a deep one. Can you still hear me there? Yes, I think
I can hear you 100%.
Okay. So, what do you think young boys today need the most from mentors or from the mentorship program, be it's yours or anyone else out there? So, I'm also asking you more on the mentorship of boys because I have a son. He's 3 years old. I have brothers. I have young cousins. So I know I have an experience with how they experience life as well when they talk to me about it. So it's more of I'm also getting information from an elder figure to also share with them. And if they were to happen watch this interview, they would listen from a male figure. So in that aspect, what would you say they need mostly from mentorship, the young boys out there?
A very difficult question, because there is no one simple answer to that question, right? Mm-hmm. But what I always say to a lot of young men that we interact with is that they must learn not to listen to many voices.
Okay.
It is very tempting to listen to many voices, because everybody's voice is right, depending on where they're coming from. But once you know what you want, stay on the track. Try to listen to the voices that speak to what you want or to where you're going, on the path that you're traveling. There'll always be somebody who will tell you something different. If you can and if you will, ignore them. You must determine what you want most and stay there, stay on that lane, however difficult it can be. But also, joining choruses is a very terrible thing. We all like to join a chorus. It's very nice to join when other people are saying things, but what does it serve you? If it doesn't serve you, then maybe you shouldn't join the chorus. It's okay to be a loner. You would know the play of line of Future Kings is be that guy, right? And what we're trying to advocate, when young people do things and somebody does not want to do it or to play with them, they say, don't be that guy, right? So we've turned it around, say, actually be that guy. Be that guy that refuses to take one of a cigarette. Be that guy that refuses to twist a lady's hand or a girl's hand to force her into anything she doesn't want to do. Be that guy that just does not want to do wrong by the next person.
Yeah.
That's all we ever say to these young people. Just be that guy that's different. Wouldn't be the slim than to be a reckless, smart person. It doesn't serve anybody.
Mm. I have a comment from mindfulness. I always admired those great Hoodmans who drove a Jaguar, had a chiscope, and wore a big necklace, that gangsterish timer. Now that I am older, I see how lost I was. Ooh, thank you for that comment, mindfulness. Hey,
That's powerful.
yes. And the fact that uyabona ukuthi that was, I hope uyamentarisha out there, mindfulness. Just another one from the audience. Speaking of role models, Rams, what's your opinion about these ex-convict podcasts which are trending right now?
Look, nobody is a saint, right? And I think it was Nelson Mandela who said, a saint is a former sinner, and a sinner could become a saint one day, right? So here's the thing: we all have a chance to repent, to become better people. There is no such thing that because I was a criminal, I could never become a better person. There's no such. Yet, we should also be careful not to be excited by people who talk but do not do. It is easy. The space of media, you can switch on your phone now and start a podcast tomorrow and say all the things that you like. The proof is in the doing. I wonder, all these motivational speakers who are ex-convicts or whatever else they are, I wonder if they live the life that they tell people they live on their podcasts. So it is easy to get so excited about these things that we hear. But before you act, think hard. And check some more. Check if this person lives up to the nonsense that or the preaching that they spread. The media is a very dangerous space. And trust me, I know one or two things about the media. I've been in this space for about 31 years.
Yes, 31 years. So since I was 9 years. Rams, you just gave me another question. Do you feel podcasts should be regulated more?
Yes, I think life should be regulated. That's why we have laws, right? Without laws, we become dangerous to one another. We don't have courtesy. We don't care about the next person. We have to be regulated. You cannot have a situation like the recent example of McG saying whatever he said about Nini, right? It's completely wrong. I do a podcast. I'm not regulated, but I'm telling you this truth. I self-regulate. Because the first part of regulation is self-regulation. You can't always expect the law to be regulating you. But if you can't regulate yourself, then the law must step in. You and I are two different human beings, more than just being female and male, more than just being one on the east end of Johannesburg and the other one in the south end, more than you being Nguni speaking and me being. We are so different about so many things. Your outlook in life is not the same as my outlook in life. But that does not give me any right to disregard your stance or your position or your feelings and be reckless about it and call you names just because I've got a platform to do so. It doesn't work that way.
Yes. You might hear kids in the background.
That's real life. I like that. That's real life.
They like waiting on me, even if it's their bedtime. As long as I'm still up, they don't.
Good.
So please be alarmed. So
I love that, by the way. We are more than just one person, right? We are more than just a mother or a father or a broadcaster or a runner or an employee. We are too many things in one. So don't ever feel wrong about being a mother. It's part of who you are. Embrace it. I am happy with it.
It's Sunday evening. It's a school night, work night. We're preparing,
Yeah.
and then
But they're
you
also
get your
curious.
hour,
They're also
and then
curious. They're
Mm.
watching you speaking to your computer. They get curious. I mean, that's the beauty of life, right? I know
Yes.
what they're going through. Yes.
The questions are coming.
Let them come.
You should have been a lawyer. He knows how to make a point. Rams, this is from Karabo. um, I have,
Karabo,
yeah,
did you ever follow the Senzo Meiwa case? There was a guy, the advocate Dave. I'm not sure I want to be compared with him. You know, when you talk about lawyers, so not necessarily that all lawyers can make a case. But thank you for the compliment. It is just years of experience. It is not my smartness, but we gain these things as we get older, read more, experience other things. So as I mature, I get better at things.
yeah. So Rams, fitness and health wise, do you take any supplements? Nami, I had that kind of question when we were speaking about nutrition. Do you take any supplements outside of just food? Do you go to the shop and buy and aid your nutritional intake?
Zero,
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 none whatsoever. Have you tried before?
never. I
Have you?
believe our bodies have everything that we need. The food that gets planted and drawn from animals, it's got everything that we need in life, unless we do the right things. People who take supplements 9 out of 10 times are trying to fast track results. And the body doesn't work that way. You know, the body progresses in its own pace as long as you do what you have to do. I look at guys, I mean, there are times when I look at someone like, ooh, I wish my arms were like that. But my arms are as far as my body can take and what my exercise routine does. So I appreciate what my body gives me. John, that I see at the gym, well, you know, I'm happy for him, but I'm not John. I'm Rams.
Yeah, yes, yes. So you haven't even tried what you call shake, nutritional shake, meal replacement. You've forever been just food based that you make at home.
Forever. I take a lot of protein after exercise, only because after exercising, you would have lost a lot of protein from, half exercise. But normal protein, whether it's eggs or,
Okay, okay,
or
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean but I don't go and buy some protein powder somewhere. No, I
Oh,
eat food with lots of protein.
okay. Do you talk about that within your family members? So whoever is close to you especially with the supplements, the intake, do you find yourself talking about those or giving advice or Nope.
No, no, and I'll tell you why not. One, there are two reasons. One is that I am not a health expert. I may just be a health fanatic, but I'm not a health expert. So I would prefer people get advice from experts. Again, I repeat, I'm a consultant in my other life. I want people to ask me where I'm a specialist, and I'll tell them because I know what I'm talking about. So similarly, for health, go and see a nutritionist, go and see a doctor, let them tell you. But the second reason is that, well, people don't ask me. So the only other person in my immediate family who exercises a lot is actually my son, right? But we don't talk much about it. I mean, he will tell me his routine. I tell him my routine. His kind of routine is rather crazy. He's a swimmer, so he would be telling me that he was at the gym and he did 5 kilometers of swimming in one day, which I think is crazy. But that's his routine, and I have my routine. But we don't talk about me advising him or him advising me necessarily. No.
Okay, that's awakening. I do take a protein shake and take clicks, but I go as far as a protein shake as a meal replacement, and like you say, ugu fast track the results. But as I speak to people like I'm doing with you, yes, there's that common thing, especially people who show with their physique, uguti, they are not big, they are not fat, they have flat tummies, they are not mukaba, what, but also who are not six pack or buffed up. No. The common thing you guys always say is that you prepare food at home. You, the ladies, they even speak about meal prep. And then the guy I had previously, he too says he eats food at home with his wife. And if they're out, it's always lots of protein in yama and then veggies, solid veggies, not Greek salad, amahlamvu, but the actual starch or sweet potatoes in danger. So I am taking note on that. Ukuthi, yes, protein. Yeah, as the word says, supplement. It's there to supplement, but also I guess seasonally illusion. Yoguti, we always wanna fast track the results. We're not patient enough with our bodies, and we forget that we have the rest of our lives to take care of our bodies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, I have a smoothie from time to time, right? But I promise you, I take a smoothie because I like the taste. I'm not supplementing anything. It just tastes nice. Okay, that's fine. But I could live my entire life not taking a smoothie. I won't feel like I'm lost.
Yeah, yes. And my husband emphasizes on that. He'll be like, you don't even know what are the ingredients. Can you read it? Can you translate it to your mother tongue? If you can't, you just leave those things. And I'm like, no, meal replacement. No, it's this and that. How you justify it. But yes, the pattern is that medicine is in the kitchen, food, supplements are in the kitchen. Yes. I have
I
Lindy.
cook my own food. Right? I cook my own food. So I know that I take care of what I eat. Nobody cooks for me.
Every day. Do you do meal prep?
When I don't cook every day, that would be wrong. Also for electricity and other things. So I mean, when I cook today, I would have my meal today and tomorrow. Then I cook again for another 2 days, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. As someone, Rams, as someone who would have seen a lot of transformation in terms of fitness culture in the Black community in particular, do you feel our fitness lifestyle has improved or declined from the past? This is from Lindy Wim.
Lindy, I have seen two things. I've seen those that are committed to changing their lifestyles, getting better and better, and staying in that path. But I've seen those who are not doing anything about it deteriorating. So there are two sides in this coin. I sometimes look around and I feel so sorry about how people don't take care of themselves. But I do notice those who really have taken up exercise. Virgin Active until the end of November last year had a club in Soweto at Maponya Mall. And I used to go there because part of my life is in Soweto. So I used to go there and I would be so fascinated seeing oldies. I mean, these were pensioners. They had classes almost every second day and stuff like that. And I was so much chuffed. And my heart broke when Virgin Active closed that gym because I thought, here are old people who have now taken up this lifestyle. Now they have no alternative. And as you know, this is South Africa. They can't walk the streets because they could get robbed or stuff like that. So I don't know what the alternative is. So I have seen great lifestyle changes among a lot of people, but I have also seen people who don't actually do enough to take care of themselves. And it's sad.
Yeah. And I feel things got a bit more worse when we had lockdown during the COVID years from 2020 up until late 2022. So a lot of us got messed up. And I'm one of those, like, from doing everything and going out there to doing everything in a desk in a house, like for a number of years. It really affects you, of which it's one of the things that pushed me, Ukuthi, maybe to document my exercises at home. I can just record and post on YouTube. And then it transpired into, maybe I should just find out what people are experiencing out there with their lives, be no matter what profession in life you are at, or even if you are a sport person. So fitness, and as you grow old, it really dawns on you, good to know, man, I have kids. I don't want to be that elderly, sickly person. I just need to be fit as long as I can, even for around the house activities.
Yeah.
So yes. Okay, one more from the audience, and then I'll go back to still have three more questions. Then they
Okay.
were asked, do you feel the general impact of age, though, or are you better now than in your 20s? I'm starting to feel weaker physically. And they laugh.
I'm physically okay. My body is good. You know, I hit the golf ball as far as I used to hit it 10 years ago. Nothing has changed. So my strength is still there. I breathe so well. I mean, I don't run because the doctor said, but I could now get into my shoes and do a 10-kilometer run, and I know I'll do it. I've got the fitness. So my body is telling me that I'm fit. It sends me that message all the time. I don't get easily tired. I play golf and I see people starting huffing and I'm like, I could play another 18 holes, I'm fine. But I must tell you the truth. You can't cheat age. There are things that you can't do anything about. I realize my eyesight is beginning to fail me. I realize sometimes I ask people to speak louder, right? Comes with age. And without a doubt, hey, Yakota much. So there's some things I forget, like meetings would, then I remember only a day later that I meant to say this to somebody. It comes with age. And that you can't take any exercise for or any supplement for. It's just gonna happen.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mina indaba yokukhohla after having kids from 2017, I noticed that
Yeah.
some things you just forget. Sometimes you look for phone uyiphethe ngesandla uyifake la ubheke. So yes, it does come with age.
Yeah.
I can
My,
relate.
my, my, my study, which is where I am now, is on the top floor of my property. So sometimes I go down to go get something. And when I get there, I can't remember what I was going to get. And then I walk back. And just as I step next to then I remember again. It happens. And I think it's the fun of being old, actually. I don't even worry about it too much. I just hope that it doesn't happen in a dangerous space. Like, you don't want to forget to turn right when you're supposed to turn left driving.
If you do forget, you do this left or
Yeah.
right. Well, that's just me, or they say it's a female thing. We usually do this. Okay, back on fitness and mentorship. If a young man is watching this and feels lost, where does he start?
You know, I honestly believe that all of us have somebody in our environment, whether they're family or a neighbor or a parent's friend or whatever they are that you look up to. The last thing that you should ever do to yourself is not to ask. If you ask, you are a fool for 5 minutes. If you don't, you're a fool forever.
Yeah.
So go and ask somebody. Go to Babu Masibu and say, how can I be like you? What have you done to be where you are so that I can do the same? I don't want to over exaggerate the importance of people like our Rams with their mentorship programs. I think all of us around us are surrounded by some mentor that we're not using because asifuna ukubuza, asifuna ukucela. And I say to a young man, you may not be able to reach a Rams because our program is limited. We can only reach so many boys at any given time. And I would like to reach everybody, every boy I can reach. I mean, I used to say to people, my dream is to have a program that reaches 1 million boys in 1 year. But that's a dream too far, right? First things first, if there is somebody you know that you look up to, even if you can't speak to them, actually do it. I've done this with the boys that we mentor. Write them a letter, and I mean a handwritten letter, not WhatsApp, not SMS, not email. Write a handwritten letter, stick it into their post box, and say, "I'd like to learn a thing or two from you."
Oh, okay. Yes, I hope. Let me see. I can't tell. They are listening, but we'll check on the comments. So, but I am trying to show you. I'm trying to show the audience your social media accounts. They wanted to know how or where they can get a hold of you. Should they should type Rams by the horns, ne, for
So,
TikTok and
well, Twitter is the only one that's Rams by the ones. All my social media platforms are Rams Mabote.
Rams
All of them.
Mabote.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yes. And then towards the end, we are wrapping up. Do you think social media is helping or hurting how young people find role models online?
Again, there is no simple answer to that. But my problem with social media is that those that post are not necessarily honest. They never post their problems. They never post the fact that they couldn't pay the rent. They never post that they woke up with a hangover. They only post the glamour side of them, and that they're sending a lie. Life is not like that. There are tough days in life. There are times when you cannot pay the bills. And I'm not saying people should tell us when they cannot pay the bills, but I think be careful when you follow social media because it paints a rosy picture. Life is not like that. We fight with our partners. We battle to pay a bill or two. The car breaks down. We we have a tummy ache. When you grow older, you have a prostate problem. You get a cyst as a woman somewhere or the other. It's life, right? So life is not a rosy thing with moe and all these drinks and makeup. That's not true. That's not real life. So don't fall for that. Real life happens elsewhere. It's not happening on social media.
Yes, that is awakening as well. Rams, the elephant in the room is that Afrikaners are distinguishing themselves in sports. What do you think happened, and how can we incorporate that into our Black communities or community in our Black community?
Oh, yeah, you're touching me in my studio. Listen, here's the thing. We committed a huge crime about 30 years ago by allowing school sports to die. You see, Afrikaner sports is found first at school. You go to Pretoria Boys High, you go to Help Mekar High School here in Doornfontein or Bramfontein. You go, it is a school thing. It starts at school. The boys that you see in the Springboks were first recruited at school. They didn't just appear from somewhere. We destroyed school sports and therefore could not continue this culture of greatness, at least in football, where I knew we were doing well, right? And it's still a space where we can still do a lot of things there. So my fear is that we think it's going to happen by some magic. Actually, it happens from development. If we start to reignite school sports, I'm saying to you, give us only 10 years and you'll see greatness come back. You know, apartheid was not about Group Areas Act or about separate development. No, those things were just the freedoms. Apartheid was a philosophy to make Black people hate themselves. And until you have a counter philosophy of Black people loving themselves and wanting the best for themselves, you're not going to change anything. Apartheid does not end by us voting, guys. No, it ends when we reverse the mentality that was planted in our heads that we're not equal to these people.
Okay. Yes, I agree with that. The change begins with you internally, no matter how you look at life. Yes, I
Yeah.
strongly agree with that. You can't always be the victim. And if you are a victim, you're missing out on a lot of things. You are crippling yourself. That's how I now look at it. The victim card. Yeah, pushilane move. Okay, wrap up and windstorm. What's one thing you wish someone told you when you were 18?
Exercise every day. I would not, I promise you, if somebody told me earlier to keep fit all the time, I would be looking better than what you think I look like now.
Nah.
Yeah, I wish somebody would have told me, take care of this body earlier. Look, what I've done in the last 20 years, I think at least I've managed a lot of troubles that I had started in my life. But I think there are troubles that I cannot manage anymore. Sekhona lo mkhabanyana ngeke usahamba. Uhlindi, yabona? Had I known
Ungasupushe kakhulu.
no, as in Excel, I'm full of
Awufuni.
right. I'm not gonna work too hard for
No,
that.
you're not
But
even 60.
but but I know that I will not have a tummy bigger than the one I have in my life. That much I know. But I'm not
Yes.
working for a six-pack, really. Life is too short. I'm enjoying other things in life. But if somebody at 18 had said to me, stay fit, they would have done me a great favor. And if I want to tell somebody to an 18-year-old today, it's two things. Stay fit and stay awake. Read. Don't stop getting knowledge. You don't need school to get knowledge. Knowledge nowadays it's on your phone. Get knowledge.
Okay. But Runa at 25, a Bafana Fana guy, is still being trained how to shoot
Can you
properly.
imagine? Right? It's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's next for you in fitness, in mentoring, or in just being Rams?
You know, I'm still active. I'm still creating things. I'm currently building another platform that I'm hoping to launch sometime this year. It is I call it the big one. If I get it right, it's a platform that will take me across the globe doing amazing work on the golf courses of the world.
Okay, this is a great interview. Someone is feeling offended. Cordelia Fagute, did you say six pack? I'm offended. That was the previous comment.
Yeah,
I also
mina ngifuna ukuthelia mina ngifuna for six pack right
like
I must look like a 55-year-old who's just healthy.
awufuna ukuba Uncle Bay.
Ah, great,
Badumile kwi-social media. Ne-grey hair. Guys, I have a book here by Rams Mabote. Ngicela niyithenge, imnandi. Ngisasephakathi kuyo, few chapters in. The Sweetest Taboo. He also writes. He has humor for days. Humor for days. This is a great book, Rams. I'm
Thank
enjoying
you.
it. It's just setting Alizang Pazamisa, and I read it though. I make time for it. He's valele somewhere in Kubege. Just a few pages and a chapter. So, but yes, I'm also promoting it. Need tenge. Yes, Mklengi Zulu. He says, did you just say a book? I'm buying one. Please do. And anymore, please follow up on Rams Mabote. You'll find more interesting stuff on him. He was also, I met him. Can I just speak how we met? I met him on Metro FM. He was doing a business entrepreneurship on Tuesdays evening. And I called him at some point, getting promoted Nami, graphics design and website development, freelancing. I remember that though, at that moment, ngangingiza kakhulu. Because in public speaking, knowing that someone or a larger audience out there is listening to me, kwakungibhedela kakhulu. It was a short call, and then we went our separate ways. And then few months later, I did some work for him, graphic design, Future Kings, mentorship program ayenzayo for young boys. And then he led me to other clients that I currently have. I still work with him.
I know you do.
Also, he invited me during lockdown when most of us were working home. He had Rams talks with Rams. Nganqaba mina because on my own I was like, yo, ngizokhuluma phambi kwabantu, the interview. But fast forward to today, I invited him. I'm speaking to him. I'm training myself with public speaking or just being fluent, khuluma nabantu, with a setup with other people. So for me, the online audience, I still feel like it's people, it's out there, it gets on me. I don't know if it's my character or it's just my mind. I have that to go to yo khuluma phambi kwabantu, but talking to you right now has also calmed me down. I know I'm all over the place. I can see my mistakes somewhere, and you as a person who usually hosts people, I can learn a few from you. I do watch your past interviews, even the oldest. So, but I know there's room for improvement for everyone. So, in closing, for me personally, to me, what would you advise me to do with this journey in fitness and inviting people and talking, and in public speaking, the confidence, or yes, the confidence, strengthening it?
Well, first and foremost, congratulations on doing what you're doing now, and you are doing it well, right?
Thank you.
We do badly when we compare ourselves to others. All we have to do every day is to compare ourselves to Tandeka Izo. Am I a better Tandeka today than I was yesterday? That is the most important thing. So self-improvement is what is important, not comparison with other people. Don't do that. And, even this nonsense about public speaking and perfection. Public speaking is not showbiz. You're not acting. We speak to the public when we have a message to share. Your message is strong. I don't care whether you're Ngingiza or whether ukhuluma ngesiZulu or ngesitsonga. It's the content that is most important. So my advice to you, continue working on your content, continue building your platform. It's a new world to us. In the world, they are far ahead of us in these platforms, right? So you may feel discouraged because there's only 3 people joining us today or 13. But if you quit, you won't have the 3 people. If you stay the course, tomorrow there'll be 30. In 10 years, there'll be 3,000 or 30,000. So don't quit. Be consistent. Keep on doing it. It's a promise. When you say to people 7 p.m. Sunday, it's 7 p.m. Sunday. Whether we are ukatele or no, you keep the promise and continue what you do. Don't stop what you're doing. You will see the results.
Thank you, Rams. I really appreciate your time tonight. We've reached an hour, and the time that I had asked you to grace us with, we really appreciate it. And thank you from the audience that people are watching, to the people that are watching and asking questions and engaging with us. I thank you all tonight. So I'm gonna end the live now, and then good night. Enjoy the evening and have a productive week.
Thank you and good night.
Yes, good night.
It's them same lips you be kissing, yeah, this loving ain't anonymous. This is pure enjoyment, I'm sitting back and I'm pondering. Thank God for you, will always take what you offering. Never too much, never giving me less. On the days that you ain't got it, you always give it your best. Lady, you are mine, I say that shit with my chest. Reason that I love you, you always easing the stress. You my backbone and that's the reason I flex.